University in Spokane, Washington, but I'm from Bellingham, Washington. So I think it's awesome that we're all here gathered, but obviously
per il futuro, mia presenza e per persone come queste. Grazie.
Spark conversation with someone that believes differently than us, because when we engage in those conversations, we can only hope to open their hearts to what we feel like is the truth in the world. And for that, I believe is love, and with love, it can start a revolution. So, thank you.
John wanted me to remind every American that is living here abroad to make sure you register to vote from abroad. That is the best and easiest way to make change, is to vote, show up to the polls, no matter who is running, and vote for the better candidate.
Nina, tell them to run for office.
And also, as Jane says, run for office. There are more women since last year's March that have ran for office for the first time, and they are being elected. If you're here, you can go to the website and register to vote. Even if you registered to vote from abroad last year, you need to do it again this year. It's very important. I just also wanted to say that this week is a march that's been all weekend long. Most of them have taken place yesterday in over 60 countries. You can see photos on the internet. And I'm just proud to say that my father, we were talking 2 weeks ago about going to the marches, and he didn't know what to, I told him about pussy hat. I was teasing him, are you going to wear a pussy hat? He said, what's that? And I told him, and sure enough, he went out and got one and was wearing it yesterday in San Diego. Allora lo dico in italiano, per i miei amici italiani, ho ricordato che è importante di registrarsi per votare dall'estero, e è ancora più importante per le donne diventare candidate anche a livello locale, perché si comincia anche dal proprio quartiere a cambiare. E poi volevo solo ho raccontato di mio padre che ha 83 anni, che ieri ha marciato, è andato alla manifestazione di San Diego con un cappello così, ed è insomma grande, veramente sono orgoglioso di mio padre. Comes another beautiful woman.
Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm from Minnesota. Not a lot of Midwesterners here, so hi everybody. I wasn't sure what to say here. I lived before the ERA. Not that it's been ratified, but I lived before it was ever conceptualized. I know what it's like to be marginalized. Wow, that's scary. If you didn't hear me before, I was here before the ERA was conceptualized. So I lived at a time when women stayed home and they didn't do anything else. And you have such a bright future if you grab it. Take it. I'm doing this for my daughter, who lives in the States. I'm doing this for my mother, who thinks it's ridiculous, but I'm doing it for her anyway. I'm doing this for my sister and my nieces and my nephews. I'm doing this for everybody because I watch too many people close their eyes, as you said. Close their eyes because it's too stressful. But that doesn't mean it's not happening. And if we can engage in conversation and at least open their hearts to something different from what they already know, then we've done a good thing. And if we can do that once a day, we've done a good thing. So let's march. Minnesota. Beautiful. Okay, we have another lovely speaker. Look at her sign. She gets free hugs, so make sure you give her it's awesome. Come on over. Hi. Get on the stage because I don't want to send the wrong message. In the past 6 years, I followed the project. I haven't lived in the Sun City for more than 4 months. I've been in Los Angeles, Chicago, London, Paris, Amsterdam, Milano, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and then now here. This is the first time in my life I've never felt so aware that I am a woman.
Ho perso un po' l'inizio, ma chi non parla inglese è di Taiwan e di tanti paesi asiatici, ma qui per la prima volta veramente mi senti donna insieme a tutti voi.
I have people say "Butana Chinese." The first bad word that I learned, and my first instinct is "Mi dispiace, ma non sono cinese." I have people come up to me and say, "You live in Toronto, you live by yourself, and you're a woman. How can you be traveling like that?" I never know I'm a woman until I'm here. I have people come up to me and say, "Why do you cut your hair? Why don't you grow your hair longer? Why do you look in this way? Why? I don't know." People come up to me. I have people say "Mata." Sì, sono mata. Because I believe that I can look in the way I am. I believe we don't have to be judged. I live in these cities that you can have the underage girl almost naked on the commercial on the bulletin board that I'm from Asia. I don't have this commercial. Why can't I dress in the way I want?
Yes!
Why? Can anybody tell me this? I didn't grow up in this country. I grew up in Asia. I grew up in a country that people actually has more understanding of the difference in genders. It's a very conservative world. But I do believe, I hope, that I can walk out from my door, that I can dress in the way I want, and I feel fucking sexy for my or to make mark in this world. I just want to be me. And I would like to meet you as who you are. Not because your hair color, not because your skin color, not because of language you speak, not because of anything. I want to meet you of what you need. And I want you to meet of what I do. And this is just me. And I'm just an ordinary person with practice feelings as old. And I would like to thank you for having me be here. Okay, our next speaker.
In cui si rielegge in gran parte il congresso degli Stati Uniti.
Hello, can you hear me?
In mano ai
Hello, can you hear me now? Okay. I want to talk to you about what I believe the Americans can do and what Americans become acceptable. Twisting the truth become acceptable. Right from day one, lying about the numbers of people that were there on the inauguration. Right from the beginning, it's become normal. And it set a bad example. And we have other countries where they become more authoritarian. Right from the beginning, we had someone writing executive orders. And other countries become more authoritarian. There have been more laws passed against women because of what's happened in the United States. Did you know that the United States has quite a high rate of child marriage? Because in many states, it is okay for kids, children, for girls to get married. Okay, let's be clear. When they say children's rights, girls' rights, it has a high, go look it up. Look at other countries too. Around the world, in Turkey, they passed a law that child marriage is okay. It was repealed under pressure. In Tanzania, pregnant schoolgirls are being arrested. Okay, so these are things that are changing, and I think the message is clear. It's okay to be authoritarian, it's okay to have executive orders. And women's rights, thank goodness for Me Too, thank goodness for that. But you need to think about how these things can be changed and for the better. Thank you.
It's a beginning for this year. And March 8th, the International Day of Women, there are going to be other things going on. So we hope to see all of you again out on the streets. And April 14th is the March for Science for the second year in favor of the environment. And we will again be out here in Florence, okay? Anybody who wants to be informed about these things should go to the Facebook page Women's March Florence. Okay, or leave your email address with John. John is our token male. Okay. And I also would like to say that there are many Italian groups who share our values, and we have one of them here, Comitato Fermiamo la Guerra. It's the committee Stop War. And with me I have Angelo Baracco, who is one of the top physicists in Italy. And he would like to say a few words. How many of you do not speak Italian? Please raise your hand. Okay, I get to translate. Okay, good. He teaches at the University of Florence also, okay, and he's very active. He's written numerous articles and appears all over Italy, especially in the anti-nuclear positions, okay? So let's give a big hand to Angelo.
Thank you to everybody. For me it's easier to speak Italian, so I beg your pardon, but it's easier to explain myself. Allora, benvenuti a tutti questi giovani. Dobbiamo costruire un mondo di pace, eliminare le guerre dal mondo, tutte le guerre, anche quelle dell'Italia. Forse voi statunitensi che siete arrivati in Italia non sapete che l'Italia è impegnata in una ventina di missioni militari all'estero.
Okay, this group is against war, and maybe many of you do not know that Italy is also in dozens of countries on supposedly peace missions, but actually are supporting the bombings in Yemen, like the United States is, with the arms race that's going on.
Vogliamo cominciare con voi, tutti insieme, a costruire un mondo di pace in cui tutti siamo uguali, uguaglianza di genere fra uomini e donne. Proprio oggi leggevo un rapporto delle Nazioni Unite che le donne nel mondo guadagnano in media il 23% in meno degli uomini. È una discriminazione, è una vera guerra tra i generi e dobbiamo cominciare a superare queste differenze per diffondere una mentalità contro la guerra.
Noi siamo uniti a voi a favore della pace e proprio oggi c'è stato un rapporto dell'ONU. Oh, sorry, I get mixed up. I'm trying to remember what he's saying and I never do it. Sorry about that. Okay, so we want to be united with all of you in fighting for peace, not fighting, obviously. And even today, actually, there's a UN report that just came out saying that women in a worldwide report earn 23% less than men as an average around the world. And so, of course, we are also together to fight for equality. I keep thinking of fight. It's not fight. Give me another word. Struggle. Struggle for equality. Okay, good.
Ovviamente sappiamo che l'amministrazione statunitense attuale, l'amministrazione Trump, che non è solo Trump, è un'amministrazione che rappresenta le componenti più reazionarie e guerrafondaie dell'amministrazione, del Pentagono, dell'esercito, dei generali. Rappresenta davvero un rischio senza precedenti per tutto il mondo.
the policy of the United States with Trump as a president is leading us towards even more war and destruction of environment and the arms race. And this is why we also are against this policy. And we're struggling to get things back into a human rights for everybody in the whole world.
Aggiungo solo un'altra cosa per non essere troppo lungo, che l'amministrazione Trump sta licenziando la nuova Nuclear Posture Review, la revisione della strategia nucleare. E questa revisione, non voglio entrare in dettagli, avvicina in modo veramente allarmante il rischio di una guerra nucleare, approvando la realizzazione di nuove testate nucleari di bassa potenza e quindi diffondendo l'idea che una guerra nucleare possa essere combattuta. Una guerra nucleare è il rischio più grande che l'umanità sta correndo in questi tempi. Una guerra nucleare vorrebbe dire il rischio dell'annullamento della civiltà umana che noi conosciamo. O noi aboliremo le armi nucleari o le armi nucleari elimineranno l'umanità. Prima o poi purtroppo potrebbe avvenire, magari per errore, un allarme per errore o per qualunque motivo, potrebbe esplodere una guerra nucleare che metterebbe veramente a rischio la sopravvivenza della maggioranza dell'umanità.
Angela published an article in the paper 2 days ago, actually it was last Tuesday, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday, and it talks about the NPR report put out by the Pentagon. So I invite you all to go read it because it is encouraging new nuclear weapons that are supposedly less powerful, which is actually consenting to an eventual nuclear war. And so this is a danger for the present and for the future, something that we should all be aware of and spread this information. It is a government report. It's nothing that's invented by anyone. And so be aware of this. And as Angelo said, if we don't destroy nuclear weapons will destroy us.
Everyone, can you hear me? I'm Jana, I'm a lawyer from California.
The Italian friends who are here would like to have the translation in Italian, so...
Sono un avvocato. Sono Jana, sono un avvocato della California. And I'm here because in the United States we have a constitutional right to an abortion and also to contraception. I'll try and then you can help out. Sono qua perché negli Stati Uniti abbiamo un diritto costituzionale all'aborto e anche alla pillola, contracezione. These rights, however, are under attack, as I'm sure you all know, and I can't think of another constitutional right that people protest. You know, we don't stand outside churches and protest. We don't stand outside gun stores and protest. It's only this right that people think they have the right to protest. And so I think that shows how we need to be really vigilant. I think the young women here, it's really exciting to see you because when I was 20, I would not have had the balls to get up here and talk in front of a crowd. So good for you guys. So I just want to encourage you to know your rights, to understand the law, to understand the courts, to understand how it all works and how our system of governance works. Because that's how we protect our rights. The battles in the streets and the battles in the courthouse. So, in Italian. Qua in Italia il diritto di aborto esiste in teoria ma non in pratica. E anche negli Stati Uniti sta diventando una situazione così. E questo mi preoccupa tantissimo perché se non possiamo esercitare i diritti non esistono. Quindi volevo dire anche alle donne giovani, sono molto colpita dal fatto che siete qua e sono molto orgogliosa di voi.
Allora facciamo uno slogan adesso tutti insieme.
Okay, so I'm going to say patriarchy, and you're going to say down with it.
Lei dirà patriarcata e noi diremo che sia abbassata.
Okay, let's do it. Patriarchy? Down with it! Patriarchy? Down with it! Viva le donne! Viva le donne!
Provo di tradurre per dire anche in italiano. È una storia. Ok. Va meglio? Va bene? Ok. I have a story to tell, and it's a little difficult to tell. Allora, ho una storia da raccontare, è un po' difficile da dire. I look at all these women out here, all these faces. Guardo tutte le donne nella folla, le facce delle donne. Io sono sorpresa, I'm surprised that I have lived my age without being raped. Sono sorpresa che ho vissuto la mia età senza essere violentata. Ho una figlia di 30 anni, anche lei non era ancora violentata. My daughter also is 30, she has not yet been raped. But I have listened to too many stories of rape from friends. And I wanted to tell you one of these stories. I was having lunch with two friends in Paris. Stavo cenando, stavo cenando con due amiche a Parigi molto anni fa. She was about 30 years old, lei aveva forse 30 anni. E durante questa cena, while we were having dinner, she broke down and started telling me the story of how she had been raped over her vacation. Lei cominciava a dirmi la storia della violenza che è successa a lei durante le vacanze. She was on vacation with her parents. She was on vacation with her parents and with her younger sister. Lei era in vacanza con i suoi genitori e la sua sorella più giovane. And that night, in their hotel, a man climbed into the window and raped her in front of her sister. La notte un uomo è entrato dalla finestra della sua camera nell'albergo e l'ha violentata. Allora, puoi immaginare, you can imagine how I was feeling as I was sitting there having dinner with her and listening to the story. Allora, puoi immaginare come mi sono sentita quando stavo ascoltando questa storia. Accanto, beside us that evening, there was a table of two men. And during the whole evening, they were trying to pick us up. Dicevo che durante questa storia che stavo ascoltando c'era una tavola di due uomini che provava di imbroccarci. You can imagine, we did not want to be picked up at this time. Non abbiamo voluto essere molestati in questo momento. They insisted, and they insisted. Finalmente la mia amica non poteva più. My girlfriend just couldn't stand enough of it. E quando questo uomo non stava guardando, when this man wasn't looking, she dropped a bit of ketchup on his seat. Do
typical woman thing to do. Lei ha fatto cadere un po' di ketchup sulla sua sedia quando non stavo guardando. When he saw what she had done to him, he was completely humiliated. His friend was laughing. Quando lui ha visto cosa la mia amica lui ha fatto, era umiliato. Il suo amico l'ha trovato molto divertente. Lui era alzato, he stood up and took a wine bottle and started to hit her over the head. Lui ha preso un bottiglia di vino, ha cominciato a attaccare la mia amica con la sua bottiglia. Fortunately, the manager stepped in and physically grabbed his hand. Questa è una storia, per me, è l'ironia di questa storia. Due donne, two women who are confiding each other, telling each other about a rape, when a man beside them is harassing them unwantedly, and then becomes violent when the women react. This, to me, encapsulates, in this one story, the frustration of women in not knowing how to respond. The irony of all the ugliness and all the misunderstanding. Allora, there's not a moral in this story, except that I want to live in a world where this doesn't happen, where I can raise a daughter where I don't have to worry if she is going to live her life without being raped. I don't want to have to worry about this, and I hope, I'm a little cynical, but I hope that maybe a little awareness will go a long way. Thank you.
Everybody, of course, this is the time when everybody's sharing, and it takes a lot of guts to tell stories like that, but that's why we're here. So take your deep speaker inside and come on up and have something good to say. So our next speaker is fabulous.
Hey, my name is Danielle and I'm from Western New York. I have a question for you guys, for all the Americans out there. When you think of Girl Scouts, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Cookies! What about Boy Scouts? Everything else except popcorn. That is what I'm here fighting for. I'm fighting here for the girls that don't want to just do crafts and jewelry and scrapbooking with their parents. I'm here for the girls like me that joined a Boy Scout troop just so that they can go outside and do archery and learn how to shoot a gun and do knife safety like my little brother was doing. I'm here for the girls that went to work at Boy Scout camp and were sexually assaulted there and were too embarrassed to tell anyone about it. I'm here for my friends that were followed home when they walked home from school. By cars, by cops, by everybody. I am here for the people that don't have a voice. I am here for the girls that are afraid to walk outside in a dress because what if a guy walks up behind them and gropes them? We are the future. It doesn't matter if you bother someone or if they get offended by something. This is how life is. And if that bothers you, I'm sorry, that's what we have to live with. Hatred is rooted in ignorance. So go out and tell people what's going on. Tell them what you've had to live with. Tell them what life is really like. Male privilege is a thing. Racism is a thing. Sexism is definitely a thing. So raise your voice. This is a movement, and it all starts with all of you.
Salve a tutti, io sono Roberta.
Hello everybody, my name is Roberta.
Sono di Firenze.
She's from Florence.
Non parlo una parola di inglese e me ne dispiace.
She doesn't speak a word of English and she's sorry.
Niente, mi sarebbe piaciuto capire di più quello che avete detto, perché credo che tutto quello che avete detto sia una cosa molto, ma molto importante.
She would have liked to have been able to understand more of the things that were said, because she's convinced that everything that was said is extremely important.
Come è importante appunto che siate tutte qui.
Just like it's so important that you are all here today.
Mi fa piacere questo e mi fa piacere soprattutto vedere tante ragazze che ovviamente credo studieranno a Firenze, e cosa di cui sono molto contenta.
She's very happy, especially that there's so many young women who are probably studying here in Florence, and that's something that makes her very happy.
Io faccio parte di una commissione per la pace e i diritti di Bagnaripoli, che è un paese limitrofo.
She's is part of the Commission for Peace and Human Rights in Bagnaripoli, which is just south of Florence. It's a citywide commission.
E tra le tante cose che facciamo come commissione, la cosa che abbiamo al primo posto è il lavoro di tipo culturale sulla parità di diritti delle donne e contro la violenza alle donne.
And among the many things that they do as a commission, at the very top of their priorities is cultural work about women's equality and working against violence against women.
Per questo lavoriamo molto con le scuole di ogni ordine e grado, perché pensiamo che sia lì che dobbiamo cominciare a cambiare la mentalità delle persone.
That's why they spend so much time working with schools at every level, because they believe that that's where you really have to start to work on changing people's mentalities.
Purtroppo in Italia, ma non solo, dobbiamo lavorare molto perché la cultura a favore dei diritti delle donne, soprattutto contro la violenza delle donne, ancora non è sufficientemente sviluppata.
That's why we have to work very hard to... I just lost what she said. No, non mi ricordo più cosa hai detto, che figura. You have to work very, very hard, because in Italy, as in many other countries, there has not been enough cultural work about changing people's mentalities and developing a culture which is different. We're lacking that here in Italy and in other countries.
Quindi cominciamo a lavorare con i giovani
So let's start working with young people.
Nella speranza che trasmettano a tutti che i diritti delle donne sono diritti di tutti, e in queste manifestazioni io spero sempre che si aggiungano sempre più uomini.
And that's why we have to work to transmit this message to young people that women's rights are the rights of all of us. And that's why it's important that when we have demonstrations like this, that every time there are more and more men who are participating.
E allora, coraggio ragazze, diamoci veramente la forza di continuare, di alzarsi e ad alzare la voce.
So courage, everybody! Let's have the strength to continue to stand up all together and struggle together.
Allora, mi sentite?
She put it on siren. It's not siren. beep. There's also a whistle if you want the whistle. Want me to hold it?
Okay. Can you hear me back there? Anybody in the way back? Okay. So, to continue what the woman who was just speaking said, the Women's March original mission is that women's rights are human rights. And so many of us understand this, but we don't even really know what the human rights are. And yet all of us know when our human rights and when women's rights are being violated. So I have here, and I'm going to read out in English and in Italian, what are the human rights. We are all born free and equal. Siamo tutti nati liberi e uguali. These rights are for everyone, without discrimination. Sono diritti per tutti senza discriminazione. The right to live a free and safe life. Abbiamo il diritto di vivere liberi e sicuri, without slavery, senza schiavitù, without torture, senza la tortura. And we have rights everywhere in this world. Abbiamo questi diritti in tutto il mondo. We are all the same before the law. Siamo tutti uguali davanti alla legge. And these human rights are protected by the law. E questi diritti sono protetti dalla legge. It is illegal to imprison or expatriate anyone without good reason. È illegale imprigionare e espatriare qualcuno senza diritta causa, senza giusta causa.
Amen.
We have the right to a trial. Abbiamo tutti il diritto a un processo, scusate. And we are all innocent until proven guilty. Siamo tutti innocenti fino a prove contrarie. We have the right to privacy. Abbiamo il diritto alla privacy, la libertà di spostarci liberamente, freedom to move. How many places this is happening right now? They're not free to move. And to seek a safe place to live. Cercare un posto sicuro per vivere. Questi sono I diritti umani. These are all our human rights. How many people here today know somebody who is suffering because of the lack of just one of those human rights? Raise your hand. Quante persone qui conoscono qualcuno che sta soffrendo proprio perché negati I loro diritti umani? Questo è insopportabile. E da oggi in poi, come hanno detto tantissime persone prima, dobbiamo parlare. We have to speak, just like many of the people who talked up here today. What we have to do is go out and in our daily lives discuss these things. Do you see a man at the bar or a person at the bar who is making fun of or using derogatory comments about the Chinese person outside the door, or the guy from Senegal who's asking for money, or this or that? Instead of standing by silently, we need to say something. Dobbiamo parlare, dobbiamo anche parlare con le persone proprio in quei momenti giornalieri, quando vediamo che dicono i cinesi o parlano male dei senegalesi o delle persone che stanno cercando soltanto rifugio qua, oppure di avere qualcosa per mangiare. Dobbiamo cominciare anche nelle nostre vite quotidiane. We all have to begin with our own daily lives.
Bravo, bravo.
Hi. Hello. My name is Anne. I'm here with my wonderful husband, Brian.
qui con il suo marito meraviglioso Ryan.
We are here from the red state of Oklahoma.
Siamo qui dello stato rosso di Oklahoma.
And the very blue city of Tulsa.
E la città veramente blu di Tulsa.
We are very happy that this is our third winter here in Firenze, actually Certaldo.
Siamo veramente contenti di passare questo terzo nostro inverno qui a Firenze, ovvero a Certaldo.
And this is our second march here in Firenze. We were here last year.
Questa è la seconda marcia che noi facciamo qui a Firenze, c'eravamo anche l'anno scorso.
I have to say that I saw earlier a woman with a picture of Rosie the Riveter on one of her posters.
Prima aveva visto una donna che aveva un quadro di Rosie la saldatrice, l'immagine.
And my mother was a riveter during World War II because all of the men were gone. And yet my mother never understood why I wanted a career, even after having that experience.
E la sua madre faceva la saldatrice durante la seconda guerra mondiale perché tutti gli uomini erano fuori a combattere, e però tuttavia la sua madre non ha mai capito perché lei voleva una sua carriera.
She didn't understand why I fought every day to be the person, both artistically and personally, that I am, until much later in her life.
Per tantissimi anni, fino a una tarda età, lei non ha mai capito perché lei doveva lottare ogni giorno per essere chi voleva essere intellettualmente e artisticamente.
She said, why do you have to make things so hard on yourself? Why must you fight? Can't you just stay home, find a nice man, cook dinners? That's so much easier.
Ma perché devi renderti la vita così difficile? Ma perché non puoi stare a casa, cercare un buon uomo, fare la cena per lui?
But I said, Mom, I'm intelligent, I am strong. I can do anything I want. I can do it all.
Però ha detto, mamma, io sono forte, sono intelligente, io posso fare tutto, qualsiasi cosa che voglio.
So I am here today for my daughter and myself, who are both part of the Me Too movement, and for my granddaughter, whom I pray will inherit a planet that's not so polluted she can't live on it, and that she can attend a college where she doesn't have to fear being raped every single day.
Io sono qui, io e anche mia figlia facciamo parte del movimento anch'io, Me Too, ma sono qui anche per la mia nipote, con la speranza che un giorno lei può vivere in un mondo che non è così inquinato, che non è vivibile.
We are women, we are strong, we can stick together, and we also march for those women who don't feel the need to march.
Siamo delle donne,
right on, sister.
Possiamo marciare insieme, però possiamo anche marciare per quelle donne che non sentono l'esigenza di dover marciare per i loro diritti.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm from Wisconsin.
Robin, e sono di Wisconsin.
And I love hearing why people are here.
Mi piace tantissimo sentire perché le persone sono qui oggi.
As a mom, I'm here for my son, who's 23, living in the U.S.
Come madre sono qui anche per mio figlio che ha 23 anni e che abita negli Stati Uniti.
He spends half of his childhood in a very small town full of very nice white people.
Ha passato metà della sua infanzia in un bel paesino dove la gente era bianca.
And then we moved to the big city, and he was terrified and angry.
E poi ci siamo trasferiti in una grande città e lui era terrorizzato e era arrabbiato.
But after he graduated high school, he thanked me many, many different times because he met so many different people and a wide variety of people, and he felt like it had enriched his life in a way that would not have happened in that small town.
Però quando lui ha preso la maturità e finito il liceo, veramente ha ringraziato Robin perché aveva incontrato così tanta gente diversa, di di ogni tipo, che veramente è stato un arricchimento per lui, per la sua vita, e ha ringraziato la mamma.
He didn't like all of these people, he didn't agree with all of these people, but it still enriched his life, and we all are enriched when we are able to interact with a variety of people.
Cioè, non è che tutta questa gente piaceva a lui, non è che lui andava d'accordo necessariamente con tutta questa gente, però incontrare tanta gente diversa per lui è stato un arricchimento della propria vita.
I'm also here for all of the people I had the privilege of working with as a teacher who were from other countries and who enriched my life and enriched my teaching.
Sono qui anche per ringraziare tutti i miei studenti che venivano, cioè io sono insegnante, tutti i miei studenti che venivano da tanti paesi diversi e che hanno arricchito la mia vita.
As a teacher, I'm also here for my students, even as a retired teacher, because you never stop caring, because they deserve better than a head of the Department of Education who knows nothing about education.
E qui come insegnante, anche se in pensione, perché lei ci tiene molto ai suoi studenti e loro meritano molto di più che non avere un responsabile del Dipartimento dell'Istruzione che non capisce nulla a proposito dell'istruzione e dell'educazione.
And finally, I'm here as a widow for my husband who died about 18 years ago, who after spending 1 month in intensive care waiting for a liver transplant.
E sono qui anche come vedova, perché mio marito è morto circa 18 anni fa, perché dopo circa un mese che lui è stato nel reparto di cura intensiva aspettando un trapianto per il fegato,
who unfortunately died before he could have the liver transplant, but still managed to have a medical bill of $500,000.
E poi alla fine è morto prima di poter avere quel trapianto che gli avrebbe salvato la vita. È morto, però è morto con un conto di più di $500,000 in spese sanitarie.
Fortunately, because we had good insurance, we were not going bankrupt for that, and he was actually entered into the hospital where people without insurance never would have had that opportunity.
E per fortuna, siccome avevamo una buona assicurazione, noi non siamo stati costretti a pagare quel conto, però bisogna dire che lui è stato ammesso a questo ospedale, mentre tanta altra gente che non aveva una buona assicurazione non avrebbe mai potuto entrare per una cura in quell'ospedale.
So finally, I'd just like to say that in a country as wealthy as America, there's no reason why every person shouldn't have access to adequate health care.
Vorrei dire che in un paese così ricco come gli Stati Uniti non c'è nessun motivo in questo mondo perché tutti non possono avere una buona cura sanitaria.
My name is Olivia, and I am a student from America studying here. I'm studying fine arts, and I've been here for like maybe a week. So, I've been a woman my entire life, and I only know what it's like to be a woman, and I think it's real bitchin', but there's a lot of shit that we need to fix, and I'm 21, so I'm going to be one of those people who's going to help fix it. So that's why we're all here, right? We're going to fix it! So I think a lot of those things need to happen because we need to start doing more things like rallying and letting the world know that we're not going to let this happen. So that's pretty cool that we're all here.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for getting this going. So I think I am in the world of art, and most of the students who are learning about art are women. Most of the students are women in all my classes and in most of the schools. And then a lot of the galleries in like the real art world after school are run by men and dominated by men, and that sucks. because I'm not a man. And I want to do something. So a lot of things need to change. Like we need more women to be more confident and loud and yell and scream and say that we're really fucking pissed. Because we are. So thank you everyone for being here as an individual to create a unity that we all have a platform to speak as individuals.
Olivia was awesome! Everybody, come on! Viva la donna! Viva la donna! Viva la donna! Viva la donna! There's another beautiful donna coming right now.
Let's go, Dr.
My name is Dr. B. I am from Spokane, Washington, and teach at Gonzaga. I am 37 years old, and I am here because I am not tired. I am not tired.
That's right.
I grew up very privileged, and I know it. I didn't know it at the time. I grew up incredibly confident, brilliant, and beautiful.
Yeah!
That confidence was not always received. I was raped twice in grad school by different people. I didn't give up. I studied hard. I claimed more power. I got my PhD. I am teaching. I am progressing. I am trying to lead with my privilege to help those without.
Yes!
We all have different skills. Some write letters. Some have podiums. But we can be all good listeners. And we need to hear each other and keep walking and marching with each other, because it doesn't end tomorrow. So again, I am here because I'm not tired, and I will be with you to the end.
That's our teacher!
We have a very important speaker.
But here we can be whatever you want to be. Lo so che sono piccola, però qua possiamo essere tutto quello che vogliamo essere.
Right. What's your name?
Esme. Esme.
John, repeat it, we couldn't hear.
Esma.
Esme.
Esme. Esme.
We heard nothing. Tell it.
In English. Say it again. Say it again. Come over closer here, man.
Say it in your loudest voice.
Esme!
They couldn't hear you.
I'm
I'm
here
here
because to give good examples to people that don't think these things.
to give a good example to people who don't think these things.
Per dare un buon esempio a delle persone che non le pensano queste cose.
Sono qui per dare un buon esempio alle persone che non pensano così queste cose.
What are these things?
Yeah, girl!
Right, forza.
Yeah, essay!
Bye, ciao.
Sei bravissima!
While we're waiting for the next courageous speaker to come up here, I want to repeat some of the things that Nancy said earlier. Last year, we were really very active in Florence. We had a demonstration in front of the United States Consulate the day after the elections in November, and there were dozens and dozens of people. We had a very successful Women's March. We had, on the 8th of March, International Women's Day. There was a big contingent of women from the United States and men. And then we had a very big science march, because that's another thing we have to remember. This administration is stupid, and they don't believe in science, and they don't believe in climate change. And we're going to repeat those initiatives this year. You can leave us your email if you want to be in the list of addresses to get the information. In about 2 weeks, I think, we're having another meeting on Saturday at 2:30 to organize the participation in the Women's March on the 8th of March, okay? Last year, there were thousands and thousands of people, and there were a couple hundred United States citizens, mostly women. It was very beautiful. And we'll also organize something on the 14th of April for the Science March. Probably do it again here. Because as someone else said, we're not tired and we're not going back. It's Trump who's got to go back. And so we're going to keep resisting.
Keeping the conversation going right here. Fabulous woman.
Jess.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yes? Okay.
Very loud.
Hello everyone, my name is Jess. I'm from New Jersey in the United States. I'm here with these lovely ladies. We're all art students from Riprese. And this has been a wonderful experience. This is actually my first time being in one of these marches, one of these demonstrations. And what I'd like to say about being a woman is that I love it. And I love in this body, in this strong body, having this opportunity to talk to people in this moment. And what I'm interested is in spreading love and inclusiveness and a connection of all people, love, revolution, and wanting that for all people and having that community that goes beyond nationalities or country or wherever you may be, but just because we're all on this planet together. And so why not be together and want to be together?
Yes!
Woo! Yes.
Allora, quello che lei ha detto in italiano è che queste sono studentesse che vengono dal Santa Reparata, la scuola, la prima volta che lei fa parte di una manifestazione di questo genere, e lei è contentissima di essere una donna perché crede che essere una donna vuol dire condividere, vuol dire amore, vuol dire fratellanza, ma come mai non diciamo sorellanza, right? Sisterhood. Allora, ora parla un'altra di queste studentesse.
Hello everyone, my name is Olivia. I am from Wisconsin, going here, studying fine arts at Santa Reparata. And I just want to say that I am speaking here for my 7-year-old sister back home in the States who has the most passion for science that I have seen in a little girl, and it inspires me every single day. I want to grow in a world that accepts that understands that women are intelligent and strong and powerful. So I'm so happy that I can be speaking today in front of everyone that supports this idea that women are great. So thank you.
Anche lei studia qui e parla per la sua sorellina di 7 anni. E questa bambina ha una passione irrevocabile per la scienza. E lei dice che vuole che tutte le bambine del mondo possano avere anche il diritto di condividere questa sua passione. E allora è felice di essere qua, è felice di studiare qui in Italia e così, era così. Allora se c'è qualcun altro anche in italiano che vuole venire a dire qualche cosa di Democrats Abroad di Firenze. My name's Nancy, I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I live here in Florence, Italy, and I am part of Democrats Abroad. A little bit higher. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Do it like Dorothy.
Io parlo per un po' di l'importanza di votare dall'estero per noi americani. Basically, I'm here to talk about voting from abroad and the importance of it. I have something to read by our international chair that wants to share with everyone, Julia Bryan. Basically, John Lewis, who's a civil rights hero and congressman from Georgia, my great state, basically has said that your vote is precious and almost sacred. Il tuo voto è prezioso, è quasi sacro, è l'istrumento più potente, senza violenza che noi abbiamo in una società democratica e dobbiamo usarlo. Questa è una citazione di John Lewis, che è un eroe di diritti civili. Okay. In a democratic society, and we must use it. You may have found this hard to believe after the 2016 election. You may have felt that your vote was a grain of sand lost in an ocean of votes. But listen, your vote is not a grain of sand to be brushed away. It is a building block that you can use to stand on, to make your voice heard in years to come. It is a building block and one that you can add strength to by reaching out to other people, your family, your friends, people you know from work, people you meet on the street, people around the world, helping them to vote too. Your vote counts, even from abroad. Thanks to overseas votes, Democrats won the Roy Cooper's race for governor of North Carolina in 2016. Our votes won Maggie Hanson's Senate race in New Hampshire. Just last year, Democrats split 34 special elections that were supposed to be won. They were not supposed to be won by Democrats. Because those building blocks of votes add up, and although they might not always win us elections, they do win us a voice. Because your voice counts too. You may not be living in the United States, but your voice counts just as much, and it's just as important as anyone who is there. Thanks to overseas votes last year, legislators are paying attention to what we have to say this year. Around the U.S., states are reaching out to Democrats abroad to let us know that they will support us. They have realized the strength of our voting bloc and told us we will not be forgotten.
to anyone voting outside the U.S., I encourage you, build your voting block, and you will build your voice as well.
Chant right now. Hey, hey, ho, ho. All the hate got to go. Hi, everyone. I'm here again, so it's dancing time. Okay, so here's how the chant goes. Go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. All the hate has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. All the hate has got to go. Let's do it one more time, let's do it. And we're all gonna do it. I want to hear everyone really saying it. Okay, you got the chant, right? Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, hey, hey, ho, ho, all the hate has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, all the hate has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, all the hate has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, all the hate has got to go.
Studiando qui a Firenze a Kent State.
Around 8 or 9 when I was touched by my mom's boyfriend.
Avevo 8-9 anni quando sono stata toccata da un ragazzo di mia madre.
For a very long time.
E veramente non sapeva cosa pensare perché era veramente molto giovane e avevo internalizzato la cosa per un sacco di tempo.
Internalizing that led to a lot of depression in my life, and it wasn't until I realized that just because it was not rape does not mean that it was okay.
E il fatto di aver internalizzato quella cosa mi ha portato a una grande depressione per molto tempo nella mia vita, fino che al punto che mi sono accorto che il fatto che non si trattava proprio di violenza sessuale completa non vuol dire che non era comunque una forma di violenza sessuale.
Again, when I transferred to Kent, I also had to deal with unwanted sexual advances that I also had internalized yet again, and that also led to depression for almost a whole year, my first year at Kent.
E quando mi sono trasferito al collegio di Kent State ho dovuto affrontare delle molestie sessuali, degli avanzi sessuali che non desideravo, e anche questo ha portato a una grande depressione per il mio primo anno a Kent State a studiare.
But I learned today that there is something freeing about sharing your story and sharing your truth with everyone. And I'm just so moved by everyone here and by every story that I've heard, and I'm grateful for this opportunity.
E oggi ho capito che c'è qualcosa che ti libera, una liberazione, sentire le storie, i racconti di tutti noi altri, di poter raccontare anche la propria storia, e veramente oggi mi sono commossa a sentirvi portare la propria testimonianza, e grazie.
Hi, I'm Whitney. I'm also from Kent. And I'm here today for all the future daughters. I'm here for my daughter. I dream about her every day. You know, all my friends, I always talk about my daughter. Like, I can't wait to have my daughter, all this other stuff.
Allora, anch'io sono di Kent State e sono qui per la mia figlia, la figlia che vorrei avere, la figlia che avrò un giorno. Le mie amiche sanno che non faccio altro che sognare di questa mia figlia.
I'm here for my daughter in the future so that she can have a life where she doesn't have to fear, where she doesn't have to feel uncomfortable when she goes out, where she doesn't have to be scared when she walks home.
Sono qui per la mia figlia, questa figlia che arriverà nel futuro, con la speranza che lei avrà un mondo dove non dovrà avere paura quando esce di essere molestata per le strade, che può essere tranquilla quando esce.
And I am just in awe of all the uniting of everyone here today. It is very emotional, and I just love everyone, and I love all women, and that we can unite and be together, even in Italy, even all around the world.
Questa unità, il fatto che possiamo stare insieme e non mi ricordo il resto.
And be united all around the world.
E il fatto di poter unirsi tutti insieme, tutto intorno al mondo.
Hi. Okay, good. Okay, so my name is Annie. Yes, Annie! And I'm Canadian. Yay, Canada! I've been here since August, and I love Italy.
Allora, questa è Annie, è qui dalla Canada. È qui a Firenze da agosto e ama Firenze.
And I want to say that I'm really glad to see people here today. It's really important to march. I also want to say that the issues that we as women go through are worldwide, be it in a place like Canada where we've been a lot luckier lately with people who manage our government.
Lei dice che è molto fiera di essere qui oggi, che crede molto importante essere qui, scendere in piazza per parlare, che lei in Canada si sente molto fortunata perché il governo è stato un po' più libero, però questo è un problema non americano ma universale per tutto il mondo.
And I also want to say that my family is Hispanic, and the culture is really similar in that way to Italian culture, where it can be still very patriarchal, and it's seen as a little quirk of the culture, and it isn't. Patriarchy should be a little quirk.
La sua famiglia è di origine ispanico e dice che questo è simile qui in Italia perché la società è molto patriarcale, però è visto come una piccola cosa e questo non dovrebbe essere considerato una piccola cosa.
And as citizens of the world, you know, if we're Canadian or American or Italian or Spanish or whatever, we need to make this change. People from all genders and points of view need to work together and make this change. And we can't stay at home and be ambivalent about things. We need to go out and speak up and march.
Woo! Allora lei dice che tocca a tutti oggi.
And I want to tell you a very short story about a student of mine in the UK. I had some news a couple of months ago that an ex-student of mine, her name was Gaia, she died and she killed herself because she was the victim of sexual assault.
Allora lei è qui per raccontarci una storia di una sua studentessa che si chiama Gaia, che è morta vittima di violenza sessuale.
She killed herself because she found out that the person who assaulted her would be out of prison soon. And she didn't know how to deal with the fact that he would be back out in the world.
Questa ragazza sedicenne in Inghilterra, dopo lo stupro, si è ammazzato perché sapeva che lo stupratore sarebbe stato rilasciato tra poco e non sapeva come vivere sapendo che lui era ancora in libertà.
I am a survivor of sexual assault, and I am here because I'm alive, and I had people who helped me because of that, because I talked to people, because I had friends, and because I knew people like you would be there for me. But she didn't know that, and she died, and that's why this is so important.
Che è qui con me in questo momento è vittima di violenza sessuale e lei è qui e lei è ancora viva ed è ancora viva soltanto perché aveva degli amici, aveva delle persone, aveva tutto questo supporto, ma la sua studentessa non aveva questo. La sua studentessa invece ha preso la sua vita, si è ammazzato perché non c'era tutta questa sorellanza. Allora è per questo che lei è venuto qui e per questo che lei voleva parlare con noi.
So thank you, because it's people like you who talk about things that happened to my student, that happened to me, and we survived because we talk about it. And I hope one day we won't need to survive, we'll just be able to live. And so thank you for coming, thank you for being here.
È proprio questo supporto qui per la quale le persone sopravvivono. E allora grazie per essere venuti, è proprio questo che dobbiamo portare avanti. Ora ci saranno 2 o 3 altre parole e così si conclude la nostra manifestazione della Women's March, il corteo delle donne.
Any of you who are, hear me? Any of you who are going to be here next November should start registering to vote. And if you need a flyer for absentee voting, Democrats Abroad has them in the person of Emily, who's this person with the blue scarf here. Okay, so feel free to come get a flyer that will explain how to do that. We were thinking of closing with a song, the traditional We Shall Overcome, if everybody agrees, okay? Just to kind of get us together. Remember, March 8th is our next event. Check on Facebook, Women's March Florence. We will post this there, okay? See? I'm not a singer. John's words.
Who can sing? Pia.
Anybody else? Guys, anybody else? I'm the dancer and the singer.
Judy, come on up. Would you like another one? Okay, Judy. Okay.
Oh, deep in my heart.
remember the 8th of March is our next appointment, okay? And women's rights under attack. What are we gonna do? Women's rights under attack. What are we gonna do?
Fight back!
Women's rights under attack. What are we gonna do?
Fight back!
All right. See you next time.
Okay. And also power to the polls. So it'll be on the international sites.
So, hi everybody. Hi everybody. Hi. Okay, so I'm the chanter and also the singer now. Now I want you guys to all sing along to this one. Everybody know the chorus to Michael Jackson's Heal the World?
Sure.
Sure? Okay, what other song would everyone know? I'm flexible. Just shout out one that you think everyone would know.
Oh, I heal the world, make it a better place.
Yeah. Let's do that one, okay? Okay. You can Google it or whatever, or you can just sort of follow along and put your hands up or something. Okay. Okay, here we go. Heal the world, make it a better place for you.